Story 1. I love dogs, I love cats. But my goodness, I love being able to leave my house all day and even all night and do what I want without feeling the need to rush back before my pet makes a mess. Team Cat. Story 2. They are the second most vicious predators on Earth by body mass, losing only to ladybugs. As the Old Onion headline goes, Kitten thinks about murder all day. Story 3. They do things to us that we would never allow humans to do, not even our closest friends. Like that time this person tried to lick my hair. Anyway, we love those spoiled little ones. Story 4. I love black cats. The only positive thing my ex did for me was making me obsessed with black cats because I was obsessed with her cat. Story 5. Having just a dog or just a cat both feel wrong. You need two different pets running around, doing their very different behaviors, or life feels uncertain. Story 6. I love cats. They are wonderful companions. I love dogs, but I appreciate the independence cats have compared to dogs. Especially my cat Miles. I love the indifference in his little face. Story 7. I like cats, but I consider myself more of a dog person. I currently have 2 dogs and a kitten. Story 8. I'm okay with cats. I'm more of a dog lover, but I would be happy to have a cat as a companion, specifically a Maine Coon. Story 9. It took a while to train mine not to go on the balcony, even with the little screen cover for the door. Once I could trust her throughout the night to stay inside, our relationship thrived. I want another one, but no, I'll have to go through that whole process again. I like how self-sufficient they can be. Quick weekend trips are more doable than if I had a dog. Story 10. I love them. I love dogs too, but I am a confirmed cat person. I appreciate that they will be affectionate but then just go ignore you and take a nap for 6 hours. My kind of people. Story 11. Cute, but I would never have one if it had to be confined to a building. I would let her roam freely. I would highly prefer living rurally so that it is safe for the cat. I would either let it eat outside or, if necessary, feed it live chicks and mice. I dislike it if it is too modernistic. However, I would much prefer having no pet at all. I cannot talk with them about politics or philosophy. They kind of bore me. I like dinosaurs. That is why I want to try befriending ravens or other wild reptiles. They are much cooler than cats. Dogs are an absolute no. Story 12. The same way I feel about dogs, they are fluffy friends. Cats are underrated, and many of them can be really cuddly and interactive while still being low maintenance. Story 13. I currently have one pinning of forearm down, so I have to type this sideways. If that does not say, I love cats so much. Story 14. I adore cats and recently gave away my beloved Tuxie due to prolonged and serious health problems. She went to someone who loves her just as much, so I can rest easy. Story 15. When I was young, I used to be mean to cats. Not physically hurting them, but I would spook them every chance I got. They did the same to me and even attacked me unprovoked several times, even in my sleep. One day, I saw a cat lying down minding its own business. Instead of my usual yelling, I decided I was done trolling cats. I said to the cat something like, "Hey cat, let's live and let live. I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone." I have kept my side of that truce, and all but one cat has done the same. It's creepy, really. It's as if they all had some psychic hive mind connection that I was a person to attack on sight but shared a common thought. Let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt with his truce until he breaks it. It's been about 30 years, and it's still going strong. I still don't like cats as much as I like dogs, but I can get along with them now. Story 16. I was not a cat person, but then the cat distribution center caught my attention. I am hanging out with my little friend right now. What a guy. Story 17. I am fine with them. They are easy to take care of because they are pretty self-reliant and they take care of unwanted pests. Story 18. Cats are lovable but mischievous. I have shared my home with several and love them very much. I also love and currently have 2 dogs. Story 19. I generally like them, but the new movement to keep them indoors permanently makes it not worth having one, in my opinion. Story 20. Cats, the whole lot of them. Fine animals and easily among the best domesticated ones. but I do not have much use for them in my home. Story 21. They have a calendar that tips over every bowl or cup with water. I think he is doing it just to annoy me. Story 22. Love cats. My brother has a Siamese, and she is such a sweet little thing. I grew up with German Shepherds, so if space permits, I would take a big dog over a cat. But small dogs are quite annoying and stupid most of the time, so I would take a cat over a smaller dog. Story 23. I had a best friend who happened to be a cat. She got me through a lot of difficult times. It has been 4 years, and I still miss her. Story 24. Humans suffer from cat toxoplasmosis, which makes them unaware that they are in an abusive relationship where the cat only shows love if and when fed or entertained. Humans also need to walk on eggshells because the cat can scratch suddenly when it was just purring seconds ago. A cat choosing someone is the cat detecting a person who has repressed mental disorders and can be manipulated to join the cat cult, worship it, and defend the cat's existence in households both on the internet and in real life. Story 25. I am allergic, and I do not understand cats. Their claws spook me a little. However, my girlfriend has cats, and they are absolutely adorable. I love them even if I keep my distance. She even got food that helps with cat allergies, and it seems to work pretty well. Story 26. I think they are adorable and silly, but there are moments when they annoy me greatly. I do not really want to have another pet of my own, but I will gladly befriend someone else's cat any day. Story 27. I love to pet them and enjoy their behavior. However, having them as pets is challenging because of the hair, litter box, and other care requirements. Maybe if I live with a partner who wants them, I will allow it. Story 28. The age-old question. Cats or dogs? I have only ever had cats, and they are nice. They provide free ASMR and are quite cuddly too. Story 29. I grew up with nothing but cats. Over all the years, we had one that would pay any attention to anybody. I got my first dog soon after college, and that was it. You just cannot beat a dog for companionship. Not even close. Story 30. I adore dogs. I love cats. You know what I like even more? The freedom to drop everything and go do something else away from home for as long as I want, without having to arrange for someone to take care of the pets. The peace of mind of knowing that I will find my home exactly as I left it. Not having to clean after them. Not having to face the inevitable loss of a creature I loved more than anything. Story 31. Apart from the fact that they make me sneeze, I can take or leave them. My dogs like to chase and kill them. Where I live, they need to be controlled as they wreak havoc on the native bird population. Story 32. Cats are generally cool. It's nice that they use a litter box for easy cleanup. I feel like dogs' loyalty is a better trait, but cats are pretty great too. It's too bad I'm mildly allergic. Story 33. I love cats. I look forward to getting one when I have my own place again. I like dogs too, but I prefer having cats because they require less work. I grew up with golden retrievers. Story 34. They are awesome. Dogs are okay, but I cannot respect something that is always excited to see me. Cats drop by and say hi when they feel like it, and I respect that. Story 35. A dog is a man's best friend. If your dog were bigger, it would still be your best friend. If your cat were bigger, it would kill you. Story 36. I used to dislike cats. My dad hates cats. As a child, I had a bad experience when I got scratched trying to give belly rubs because I didn't understand how to respect a cat's boundaries. Those two things made me a cat hater. A year ago, that completely changed. I watched a friend's 2 cats and had a great time befriending them. Since then, I have visited cat cafes often, and now I am even adopting a cat myself. I disliked cats because I didn't understand them. Now that has changed, and I am a huge cat lover. Story 37. They should not be allowed to freely wander outside of the owner's property. They are fine other than that. Story 38. I love them and they love me. I just came from a house where both cats, even the one who always hides under the bed, came running to greet me. I just know how to greet them. In my humble opinion, and this is just a personal opinion, most dogs get too excited. Give me a dog that acts like a cat. I already have a cat that is as loyal as a dog. Story 39. I have two pets. I like all animals but like cats even more because I am away most of the day and they tend to take care of themselves. Story 40. I have two cats that I adopted because the alternative was them getting hit in the street. It has been a journey. Nothing in my house is sacred. Story 41. Cats are wonderful creatures. I don't trust men who don't like cats. I don't mean men who don't have experience with cats, or who say they don't like cats but will treat them nicely anyway. I mean men who genuinely dislike them. Getting along with cats is like getting along with women. If you want to get along with a cat or a woman, you have to work with the subtle push-pull of expressing gentle intent and respect their dignity by waiting for them to respond according to their own mood. If a man finds that so problematic that he detests an animal for this, I don't trust him. Story 42. I love her. I haven't seen a mouse since I got her. I blocked up some holes, but she still does her thing. Story 43. I love animals with a job or purpose. House cats with no purpose other than to urinate in a box in the corner and meow at me when I'm trying to nap can go away. No, I don't want a cuddle buddy. No, I don't like the way you smell. No, I don't like my hands and feet getting mauled when it's cold. Ranch or barn cats that chase mice, rats, bats, and other pests out of the shed and help maintain the other animals' hygiene? Yes, you get little head scratches for being a good kitty. Thank you. Story 44. Animals can be unpleasant. They urinate and defecate and may carry unusual diseases. They are interesting to observe outside, but not inside my home unless I am feeling very lonely and depressed. Story 45. I love cats, especially my little kitten. Every day I come home from work. She is right there waiting for me to walk in. I always look at the house camera to see where she is, and normally she is sleeping. But once I get home, she is right there by the door waiting for me to come inside. Story 46. I like cats so much that people often buy me things or send me mail related to cats. Once I needed a code name, and my friend decided it would be Cat. Story 47. I have a nice cat. He is orange and an agreeable guy. We acknowledge each other in passing. I have a dog whom I walk 20 miles a week with. I plan weekends for her to do activities. She is my number one. Story 48. They fight, but when you have depression, no animal is good to have except maybe a little small pet. What are they called? Hamsters. Story 49. I can live with them or without them. They don't bother me. We have two cats now. One stays hidden all the time and only comes out at night when everybody is in bed. They make good mouse traps, though. When you live in the country, you get field mice, and the cat likes to catch them and play with them. Story 50. Cats are good. I have a few myself. My life is too busy for a puppy, and I will not get a dog if it is not trained the way I want. Cats are easy to train to behave and are pretty much self-sufficient once weaned. This means I do not have to worry when I am gone for a long day, and they are still happy to see me, play, and cuddle whenever I am home. Story 51. I have owned dogs and cats, as big as an 80-pound greyhound and as small as an 8-pound poodle. My parents first got a cat before I did, and I learned the do's and don'ts of how they differ from dogs. Wagging tails mean totally different things. When I got my first cat, I was a much better parent and thus had a much more behaved cat. Between the two, I would rather have a cat from now on. Story 52. I miss having one. I miss the iconic cat cuddles, the purring, and having that weight on my chest, stomach, or side. I love my dog. Don't get me wrong about that, but cat love is different from dog love. Story 53. I like the ones that like me and are very friendly. So warm and fuzzy with purring that puts you to sleep. So cozy. Story 54. I am 50 years old, and my wife and I have 3 children. We had 2 dogs but lost one a month ago. The other probably won't be long behind. The saying in our house is 1 dog equals 2 cats. So very soon I may have 7 cats. I also have a shirt that says Cat Dad with a drawn cat flipping the middle finger. I love dogs. But the problem for me is that I had my dog. He was a 50-pound pit bull that was the sweetest boy ever. He lived to be 15, survived a house fire, and moved across the country. He died 14 years ago. No dog will ever live up to his standard. So cats it is. I have the best 3 cats you could want. They're all sweet, loving, and nice to us and each other. Story 55. I have 3 dogs. They are easy to take care of and almost never require bathing, constant walking, and can go long periods without supervision. I like dogs. I do not want the responsibility of taking care of one myself since they require a lot of work. But I enjoy seeing other people's dogs. Story 56. Useless parasite-riddled animals. Everything they do is annoying. They can't engage in private activities without upsetting me. They defecate in my garden, use their claws when they climb on my car, and cause small chips in the paint down to the metal. They kill animals and do not eat them, which is cruel. They seem to enjoy killing animals for fun. They are intelligent, can be funny and entertaining to watch, but they lack loyalty. If you die in a house with cats, they may consume your body, unlike dogs. Women who have cats often struggle in relationships because they model their relationships on those with their cats. Story 57. I hate them. They are always up to no good and make the house smell unpleasant. They can transmit Toxoplasma gondii to us. Story 58. I am extremely allergic to cats, to the point that I have to wash my hands and arms up to my elbows after touching one, or I break out in nasty hives. I am really fond of cats. I just prefer not to have one sleeping on my pillow. I can take an allergy pill once a day and mostly manage the allergy, but it still makes my face swell up, and I look awful and ridiculous when I go home with a woman who doesn't mention she has a cat she habitually allows to sleep on her bed. I like cats in the best way. We both agree to kind of avoid each other, but otherwise we're cool unless your cat is very dumb or annoying. I regularly feed my neighbor's cat when she is away for a couple of days, but I am not going to let that cat come into my house or get on my furniture. Story 59. I was never a cat guy until my daughter brought one home. Her name is Sony, also known as Beef. Then my wife brought home Isma, also known as Scooter Bumps. Then my friend needed a home for Isadora, also known as Frizzard the Wizard. Cats are pretty cool. Story 60. I have loved most of my cats. I love it when they snuggle. I hate it when they bite and scratch. I do not care for having a litter box. Story 61. Love cats. Before people come for me, I love dogs too, but they require much more maintenance compared to a cat. Story 62. They are cool pets. I like dogs better, though. However, cats are absolutely terrible for local ecosystems because they kill many small animals. Cats should be kept indoors. Story 63. They are majestic, regal creatures that deserve our respect like any other living being. If a man does not like a cat, be wary. He might not be trustworthy. Story 64. I mean, sure, they look cute, but I am extremely uncomfortable with the idea of touching them. I do not know why, but it just feels weird. Story 65. I love my 2 cats so much. I get excited to see them when returning home after a long weekend. I also find myself missing them a lot and hoping they aren't lonely while I'm away. I used to be allergic to cats until my girlfriend and I moved in together. She had a cat, so I had no choice but to get over it. Somehow, after a few months, I did. Then we got another one. Their personalities are very different. Ivy is super sweet, kind of a timid girly girl. Very cuddly with the coolest coat and big blue eyes. Then we got Butters. She is a little troublemaker who knows how to change her personality depending on what she wants from you. Just watching her stir around the house is entertaining. She wakes me up every morning by gently brushing her tail on my face. Then when I wake up, she acts like, "Oh, you're awake. Look at that. Time for my food." Once I reach for the food, she starts aggressively screaming because she is so excited to eat. Cats are super chill, and I recommend them to anyone, especially people who feel lonely. Story 66. The cats I have met are either the sweetest lovable furballs or they think I am the devil. I am about 50-50 on them. I was bitten while playing video games as a kid. My friend's female cat hisses and swipes her paws at me, while the brother is all over me. Story 67. Cats are cool, but the number of women I have been with who do not keep up with changing their cat litter is disgusting. They become nose blind to it at some point, so they do not even notice how bad it is. There is nothing worse than going to a woman's place to hang out and smelling intense cat waste. Story 68. Not as good as dogs. Very cute as kittens. Second only to humans when it comes to the extinction of other species. It is a historically proven fact. I understand it was humans who brought them to places they were not meant to be and let the furry little predators loose in the world. I am going to get so downvoted for that. Laugh out loud. Story 69. Fortunately, most cats, even mean ones, seem to like me, but they are kind of weird, lazy, and only engage with you if they feel like it. I much prefer dogs. I will deal with the mess and walks to have a buddy that is down for road trips, hiking, and hanging out on the couch. Story 70. Personally, I don't like cats. They walk in a litter box and then on everything else in your house like counters. They get into everything. Even with toys and lots of stimulation, they still have to destroy things. They are too instinct-driven and have a strong prey drive. I have had cats before, even potty-trained one, but once I got dogs, that was it. I am a dog person through and through. Story 71. Amazing little creatures. Stubborn though, so if you do not take care of them properly, prepare for a lot of destruction. Also, they do not respond well to scolding compared to dogs. Dogs understand. They learn. Cats? You scold them just a bit and they literally run away from home. Story 72. Not really a cat person. My wife's cat, our cat, is one of the kindest, most noble creatures I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. She lets our daughter grab her belly and never bites her. She seeks my daughter out to lay next to her. She can sense when people are sad. When our family dog died, the cat found me every night and sat on my lap until we got a new dog. She is patient and tolerant of all my dogs and of all the grabby, lovey kids who come into our house just to squeeze her. She is a gem among animals. Story 73. My cat passed away, and then I drove across the country to take care of my mother, whose husband recently passed away. She gave me the cat that her husband adopted 2 weeks before he passed. Is this how the cat distribution system operates? I see why people pay for companionship nowadays. All I got is a furball who yells at me when she is hungry or wants to go outside. Cat, I don't need you to run into my room at 4 a.m. yelling at me. Please stop. Story 74. Cats accept me as one of them. We cuddle on the sofa. They hiss at me when they are angry. There is always one of them sleeping with me when I am sick. Sometimes we have a fuss and turn our backs on each other, looking each other in the corner of the eyes. Story 75. I love cats. I would love to have 2 in my apartment, but that would limit my ability to be away from home for a week or so. Story 76. I will be brutally honest. Rent a cat. Yes, cool, nice, cute cat. Living with a cat? No, thank you. It's like living with that cool guy at school. Sure, it's cool at first, but then you wake up to dirty dishes and loud music at night, and it's terrible. Your place is trashed. There is poop all over the floor. Your cat is meowing for more food even though you just fed it twice. Pukes on your carpet, gives you dead animals, and basically doesn't do anything. In summary, cats are cool, but they are like that bad roommate you thought was cool at first. Story 77. I love dogs with all my heart, but I also respect cats. I grew up with guard dogs as a kid and spent my childhood around stray cats because no one I knew owned one. The strays were far more aggressive towards humans than any Rottweiler or Pit Bull I have seen in my life. Cats are far more unpredictable than dogs. But I eventually made friends with cat owners and understand that they are amazing animals that deserve respect. Even the strays. Story 78. I am a woman. I really love cats. They are cute and do funny, silly things. People who dislike cats for having boundaries just cannot respect anyone. Story 79. I do not like cats. I have allergies. Even if I did not have allergies, they smell bad. I have never been to a cat owner's house and thought, that smells great. Second, they are not domesticated animals. Third, outdoor cats are a blight upon natural ecosystems. Story 80. It takes more effort to have a cat than a dog. A cat never informs on you like a dog, but they can also tell you to kiss their backside. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.